Hello everyone, the Sparkle Goddess here with Crystallized by Sparkle, and today's tutorial is going to be Pearlized Converse. So I've got these Converse All-Stars. These are the leather ones. They are all white. They're all white because the pearls are white. I mean, you can do these on the All-Stars if you like, if you don't mind the red stripe or the black stripe, but these needed to be all white. So I've got the Converse, 91% alcohol, got my adhesive, scissors, the ribbon. We'll put some of this stuff to the side. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to grab your sandpaper. I think this is either 120 or 220, and you want to rough up the surface of the shoes here. And then on the sides where we're going to put a little bit more crystals. And you just want to rough it up just a little bit. Just like this. Do it to both. Just like this. Then you want to grab your 91% alcohol, this, and cotton ball, Q-tip, whatever it is you're using. And you want to come back and wipe down the surface and get all those particles off that you just sanded up. Okay? We'll put that to the side and let it dry. Get it nice and clean. Put it to the side, let it dry, and you can put your sandpaper to the side and your alcohol. This is now done. We're not using that anymore. And we are going to get to blinging or sparkling or pearlizing or whichever way you want to call it. So I've already separated out my pearls because these came in a pack full of various sizes. So I separated them out and we are going to get started. I am using E6000 glue. You do not have to. There are some other glues on the market. I will be testing some of those in some of my tutorial videos, so you'll see those as we go along. First thing we want to do is start on the toes. These again are just pearlized wedding Converse. So I'm going to do the toes. I'm going to do some speckling on the sides. We will get these strung up with some ribbon and we'll be all done. This should be a really, really quick process. And it's something you can make some really good money with. So here we go. First thing you're going to learn is how to do the toe. Pull out your glue. And I do an entire outline first. So I will start down at the bottom. And you don't need a whole lot of glue. E6000 tends to just come out. So you have to kind of be very controlling with it. And if you've got a little bit of excess, just kind of push it along in other areas that you aren't to just yet. It's okay. All right, so we are going to start. Here we go. You want to start from one corner. And I hope that I'm doing this in a way that you guys can easily see. And then what I like to do is once I get a few on here, I come around to the other side and I do that so that I can properly gauge the spacing needed while the glue is still wet. You want to butt them up against each other. You don't want them too tight. If they're too tight, they'll pop. And you don't want popping up. E6000 is a glue that does dry kind of fast if you've got it in a thin strip. So you might need to come back and reapply. And that's fine if you do. It's no big deal. And I'm getting to where I need to put some more back on here. I'll bring this out, and at this time, since it's such a small amount here, small space, I'll put a little bit, and then I'm going to come up and catch my rim across. And we'll just keep going. And as you can see now, I am alternating, but again, I'm doing that so I know how much space I have. And see here, It's such a small space. I don't know that I have space enough to put another one, but we shall see. Going to push these other ones around here, see if it gives a little bit more space, enough to fit another full pearl. If it does not, then I'll come back and space them back together. And it doesn't, so I am going to push this one up out of the way, get another one down in here, and start pushing them closer. Just a little bit closer. Some of them are trying to stay in place, which is why I do this while the glue is still pretty wet. So this one, I'll just come and move over here, and we'll keep it going. And I will do the same here on this row. I'll work from one side to the other so that I know how many pearls I can fit in a row. Now once you get inside, you won't have this problem. You just kind of need to be able to know how they fit, know how many will fit for this first row. And there's a little bit of spacing that we want to do here, just a smidgen. Not a lot, not enough to make a big deal. Gotcha. So that first row is set. Once that first row is set, it's pretty much easy going through the rest. So we'll come back and we will continue to do like this. And this is usually when I double up on rows, just to kind of get across a little bit faster. And so I'll start here. I might just pop up 2 here. And the reason why I also double up is because of the curve on the toe. It is thinner on one side, or the curve on it is sharper on one side of the shoe than it is on the other side of the shoe. And so you'll need to adjust as you're going along both rows to make certain that you properly space. And so this is why I'll do multiple rows, and it kind of makes you feel like you're working a little bit faster. So this curve is much tighter on that third row than it is on that second row. There we go. And they all fit perfectly. So as you can see, the rows are coming wider out on this side of the shoe than they are on this side. It's because this is the interior part of the foot. So we'll just keep going until we are done. And just to kind of let you guys know, we have been crystallizing here for about 5 or 6 minutes. So these can go really, really fast. We've been pearlizing, sorry. These can go really, really fast once you get that that initial outline done. It's really just a matter of following that pattern, and the faster you can pick them up, the faster you can get through it, and you can really get these done and get on to your next project pretty swiftly. Usually it takes me about 30 minutes to do these types of shoes, this type of pearlizing. And 30 minutes is pretty quick when you're looking at your turnaround time. If you can work fast, you can do a lot of these in a short amount of time. Or you can get on to your other projects. So today I've got to do about 30 shirts. So once these are done, I can get on to those projects while these dry. And I see that I am in need of some more glue. But as you can see, they're coming together quite nicely. It is beautiful. And we are almost done. Now, I do have two sizes here. These pearls that I'm using right now are likened to the SS16 size crystals. And these are what I usually use when I'm doing a toe and heel pair of Converse. I'll use an SS16 and then I'll use little fillers. Of course, if you're doing a smaller shoe, you want to use a smaller crystal. If you're doing a child size shoe, I would go down to a 14 or a 12, depending on how big the shoe is. And so I've got these little fillers over here that are roughly about an SS10. And boop, first toe done. So what I like to do is I like to take the shoes and move them to the side to let the toes dry before I get to the sides, because I am going to do, like I said, some speckling on the sides, but I don't want to mess with those just yet. I want to make certain that that toe is dry and I don't have any opportunity to damage the row sorting I have on that toe. So we will now work on this second one, and I am going to let all this stay in the video, and the reason why I'm going to is because I want for you guys to see how quickly this can be done on one pair and not just kind of skip the video to where both pairs now have the toes done. No, I want you to kind of see the time frame and realize that if you're doing these on a regular basis, you can move a whole lot faster. I'm moving pretty slowly for the video. But again, you can move quickly doing these. So for the purpose of instruction, I would like to give you guys the full Monty. And this is the same process if you are using crystals instead of pearls, colored crystals if you are doing a design. I have seen people put like a basketball on the tip of on the toe of the shoe, hearts, what have you. What you would do is you would just kind of draw that on there first and then follow those lines, make your outline first, and then fill in. So if you've got the lines for the basketball, you'll do your outline, you'll do your basketball lines, and then you'll fill in the cracks. And those come out uber cute, by the way. So before I get asked this in the comments section, I will let you guys know where I get my flatbacks from for many, many, many years. I only bought from Swarovski because several reasons. So if you've ever tried to do a crystal commission or anything like that, pearl, what have you, and you go into stores, you usually find really, really crappy acrylic rhinestones. Um, and they're horrible, right? And so for the longest time, that was all you had access to, was this really, really horrible stuff in Michael's, in Hobby Lobby, in any craft store, in Walmart, in everywhere you could possibly think of that had little stuff for crafting, that had crystals, and it was horrible. And don't get me wrong, if you are just, playing around, you're having fun, you're trying to learn, that's a great place to start because the overhead is pretty cheap. You don't have to waste a lot of money learning. You don't have to waste your good crystals, your good stones, learning. So back then, when I first started learning and teaching myself how to bling stuff, crystallized stuff, as I like to call it, there was nothing. There was nothing at all. There was Michael's, and they were acrylic. And if you put them on top of any adhesive, I don't care what kind of adhesive it was. It could have been, top of the line adhesive. If you put them on top, they got cloudy. They were horrible. And I used those for a little bit to learn. But once I decided, okay, this is, I've learned, I'm ready to start, presenting this to the people and trying to get some sales, I realized those were not the way to go. So I started using strictly Swarovski, and Swarovski is like amazing. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it is the closest thing to a diamond you can get without having a diamond when you're crystallizing something like a pair of shoes. So they are just absolutely beautiful. And so that's what I did. I went for the full Monty. I went straight to the most expensive thing that was going to give the best look, and they were just amazing to look at, and it was just beautiful, and and it was awesome. It was phenomenal, and I did really, really well doing that. And for a long time, I purchased from a really pretty cool shop, but I then secured a contract with Swarovski myself, and I started buying direct from them. But as time went by, lo and behold, as time went by, things got cheaper. So we started getting access to really nice crystals that were almost as good as Swarovski, far less than half the price of Swarovski. And to some people, they couldn't even tell the difference. I could. However, most people out there, the general masses, do not have the money for Swarovski. You can take a plain t-shirt, for example, using like a diamante machine cut crystal, and bling one word, and it might use 3,000 crystals, and you can get that shirt and sell that shirt for like $20. But if you use 3,000 crystals in Swarovski Hot Fix, you're gonna have to sell that shirt for like $150. So as the time went by and things got better, the quality of these new crystals coming on the market got better and cheaper, I started switching to glass. And it's awesome because while people really do love the look of Swarovski, they are also always still looking for something that doesn't cost as much. And so I began working with glass crystals, and I've seen some really nice glass crystals out there that give you some really nice commissions. And here in the last year, I have been working with an awesome awesome lady named Annette, and she owns the store Be Createful. And her flat bags are just amazing. She's got her own line. They are called Luxe, and the Luxe is beautiful. They come in hot fix, they come in flat bags, and they are the bomb. And so I get my flat bags from Miss Be Createful. And I will put a link in the description for anyone who wants to see that. Okay, so back to this. We've got 2 toes done, and this portion of my video was 19 minutes. And so just as you can see, that's just the toes. 19 minutes to do this. You can do it in much shorter time. So I'm gonna switch, go back to the shoe that's already dried, and we'll drop some crystals along the side, make it look really, really cute. We will put the ribbon on, and we can be done. You guys can be done with these shoes literally in under 30 minutes. Like, it's the easiest thing ever. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put just a little bit on this inside seam here, like this. Okay, just about right there. And then, if my glue will allow me, dot, dot. It's going to be mean. Dot. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to come here, this. Uh-oh. Let me grab one of those little ones to come right in here. Catch that. We're here. Then another one of those little ones right in that middle. And then we're going to catch those dots that we dropped. So there's a dot here. There is a dot here. There is another one. Oh, I thought, yep, right there. And then we're going to drop just a few more to kind of speckle it back here. And then we'll swap and get to the other side. Do this. There. There. Here. All right. Now, if you have a precision tip, which is something that I do need to get, I do believe that Annette is sending me a precision tip, which I cannot wait to get. That'll keep you from having excess glue coming out. Okay, one like right here. And you just want to fill it to where you like it. If you don't feel like there's enough, add a couple more. There we go. Now see, it's kind of speckled, right? So I'm going to put this one to the side and come back to this one. And we'll do the same here. We'll just grab some and put them on that inside. Okay, and then drop a few drops. And then you can always go back and clean up any strings with a Q-tip and acetone, but you'll need to do it while it's wet. So, or you can come back and clean it up with your alcohol if you have a Q-tip by you. You can also wait till it dries and then pull it up. Sorry about the noise, guys. My teenager just left the house. Okay, so we are almost cool here. And just kind of give yourself a guide. If you want to go by like this second shoestring hole, that'll just kind of give you a guide on how far back up the shoe you want to go. Grab one of these little ones. Uh-oh, dropped it. Get that in here. And then another one of these big ones in, and there you go. So I think this is pretty well back. I think I might want one like right over here underneath this air hole. Boom. And there we go. We'll drop that last one and we'll put it to the side. Let that one dry up. Come back to this one. These are pretty well on. Flip it. And if you don't trust it, like I don't trust it, just hold the shoe in your hand. Come on. Okay, I think I've just about got it on here. And then boop, boop. And here we go. All right. We'll catch this one, catch this one here, that one, and then we'll catch this little strip. And again, unfortunately, Converse, they don't always have the same stitching on both sides. So sometimes it won't be the exact same crystallization that you did on the first one that you'll be doing on the second one, just because they just don't make them the same. Not really sure why that is, but it's okay because they'll still look pretty great. All right, so we'll catch right in the middle. I keep losing my pearls here. It's like they're mad at me. Okay. And then I'll grab some of these little ones to try and pop into that center right there. And there you go. So now this shoe is done. And then we'll do the next one. And once we do that, it's all in stringing up the shoelaces. And this is all done. here, here. Okay. And like I said, if you get through where you've got all your pearls down and you find that you just don't have enough, you want some more, you can always go back and add more. Feel free. Because at the end of the day, this is, you know, your commission. It's how you want it to look. This is just the way I do them, the way I like them. Then once we are... All right, so we are done. We've got the shoes pearlized up, inside, outside, here. They're really, really pretty. And now it's time to do our ribbon for the laces. So what I like to do is I take the shoelaces that it came with, and I'm going to measure the ribbon against those. And for this, you will need your ribbon, the lace, and you'll also need a lighter. I use one of these. So we'll take this ribbon, lace, get it together, and I am just going to measure it, right? So we'll keep it going, and we've got to the end of the lace. So once you get to the end of the shoelace, I like to give it just a little bit more because shoelaces are stretchy and the ribbon is not. So I'll give it to like maybe about 8 inches more. We'll go ahead and cut it on an angle. So I'll fold it and cut it. Then, excuse me, you will measure the second strip against the first. Come around, and here we go. Boom. Then you can take your scissors, toss those to the side, take your ribbon, toss it to the side, break out your lighter. Ready? Catch the other end. And you do this because you don't want them to fray. If they fray, boom. If they fray, they'll start to come apart while you're trying to lace them. All right, so now we've got our laces ready, and we are going to get them laced up. There are many different ways to lace. I like the sleek look, especially for wedding Converse. So pull them in, measure them up against each other to make certain we have them equally. And like this. So then on the outside is where I start. I push this one. On the inside, I skip the first hole and push it through this one. Then we'll come around the top from the outside lace, push it through the outside of the hole. Then we'll go up, pull that out. Then we'll take this one, bring it across into that next one, just above here. And we'll skip another hole. You won't go into this one, you'll go into this one. And we'll take this one, go across into that hole. And now this is going to take a bit of work because we don't have that extra hole, right? So this one will just push up and out. And this one will bring across on the inside, and we'll push it into this last hole. Boom. Bring it across, lace it up, and there you go. So we'll do this next one, and then we'll be done. And I'll give you guys a little tip that I always do while we're doing this. I always grab a small baggie, really small baggie, to put some extra pearls or crystals into. And the reason why I do that is because while your glue, your adhesive, whatever you're using, might be extraordinarily strong, you just don't know the type of trauma your client might have to their foot. So you always want to send them with some extras. It's my little tip. Usually when I do a full commission where I have to do the entire shoe, I will send my client with a small tube, the little travel type tube of E6000, and a few of each size. So if you're working with strictly, excuse me, strictly SS16 with your 5s or your 10s for fillers, 10s and 5s for fillers, then you'll want to send mostly SS16. Usually on a full commission, I'll send 10 to 20 SS16s. And then I'll send about 5 of the other sizes, just in case your client has an accident, they trip, what have you. They might lose 1 or 2, but it helps. I have several pair myself. 1 pair that is completely covered, and I've lost like 3 or 4 crystals on a cruise. And you know, I just boop, pop them right on in with a little glue, and we were good. So here you go. We are now done. You have completely done 1 full pair all the way through of wedding Converse. They're very elegant, very beautiful, and it should take you 30 minutes or less. You have any questions or comments? Drop them below the video. If you like this video, click the thumbs up. Please do subscribe to my channel as more videos are on the way. And also follow us on Facebook. All links will be in the comments section. Thanks for joining and have a great day.